What's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, bringing you another update video on Marvel's Wolverine, a title that people were initially excited to play upon its reveal, only to lose hope that it will ever see the light of day on store shelves due to the radio silence on behalf of the developers, Insomniac Games. But it looks like the studio is finally ready to come out of the lab and show us what they've been cooking up, and we have a lot to talk about it. But before we dive into the topic, you already know what we have to do. I gotta ask you guys to give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, I know it's a bit annoying getting this request at the very beginning of a video before you watch it in its entirety, but YouTube's algorithm encourages it. So if you rock with your boy and you know I'm gonna bring you that awesome content, then smash that like button. But if you just so happen to be new to the channel and you feel like I wasted 10 minutes of your time, then feel free to retract that like and give it a dislike. Just rate the video. But yeah, guys, it looks like we could possibly be seeing some news on Marvel's Wolverine from the officials, that being Insomniac and PlayStation. And you guys already know how this game has gone. It went from just getting a lot of people hyped upon its reveal to just being something that's been like this anomaly because of the big hack that happened a couple years ago, where we basically got a chance to see what Insomniac was cooking up before they wanted to reveal it to us. And now people just have these preconceived notions going on in regards to what they think the game will be like based on these leaks. There's also been rumors going around that Marvel's Venom that Insomniac has been working on could be released before we even see Marvel's Wolverine. And take of that what you will, I feel like it's a win for all of the fans because we're going to be getting something good from Insomniac Games, whether it be the Venom game or the Wolverine game. If this happens to be true and Marvel's Venom does release first, then I'm pretty sure that Marvel's Wolverine will be right around the corner and we'll be seeing a lot of promotion for that, because this isn't the first time that Insomniac Games has put out multiple titles around the same time window, because if you remember, they dropped Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart around the same time they did for Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, and one could argue that Insomniac Games was able to pull this off because they have multiple teams, as well as the fact that Rift Apart was a full-fledged game, while Miles Morales was an expansion of the first Marvel Spider-Man game. And there have already been reports that Marvel's Venom is going to be this expansion to the Spider-Man 2 title, while Wolverine is going to be a full-fledged game. So we're looking at two similar scenarios here where Insomniac is willing to put a little bit more time into Marvel's Wolverine because it's a distinctively different game from that of the Spider-Man titles, and Venom is more akin to Spider-Man, so they probably have a lot of assets that they can use to build that game within a timely manner, because they were already working on a DLC centered around the symbiotes. But I do feel like it's reasonable for fans to be concerned about Marvel's Wolverine due to how quiet it's been from the developers, because the first trailer was released 3 years ago, and we usually don't see a big time window from the reveal trailer to the gameplay to ultimately getting the release date for these games. But Insomniac has gone on record to reassure us that they are working on the title, and this new rumor suggests that we could potentially be seeing the game later this month, which comes to us by way of a report from thegamer.com that says, and I quote, "PlayStation has a fair few games we know are in the works right now, but one that we've seen neither hide nor hair of for quite a while is Marvel's Wolverine. Ever since it was shown off all the way back in 2021, all we've had is the occasional very early gameplay leak and absolutely nothing from the developer Insomniac itself, besides assurance that it's still being worked on. Well, that could potentially be set to change very soon. Over the past few days, rumors have been heating up regarding a potential state of play or PlayStation showcase towards the end of this month, though it's expected to be the former rather than the latter. It's been claimed that games such as the rumored God of War spinoff will show up there, and now a new report says that PlayStation is going to use the event to show off Marvel's Wolverine again. This claim was made by Insider Gaming, which claims to have heard from anonymous sources that Marvel's Wolverine will almost certainly be at the state of play at the end of the month, as the game's next trailer is complete and waiting to be aired. If not there, then it will be revealed in the next few months, most likely at the Game Awards in December. So as you guys hear, we're looking to see Marvel's Wolverine sooner than later, whether it be later this month or in December at this year's Game Awards, which is what I originally predicted in my last video pertaining to Marvel's Venom and Marvel's Wolverine. It just feels like this is a game that everybody's aware of, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation wants to reserve something else for the PlayStation showcase, whether it be the new God of War spinoff and a possible reveal for Marvel's Venom, since that's going to be a fresher title that everybody hasn't really seen yet. And I'm I'm pretty sure that when they do show off Marvel's Wolverine, the trailer is going to consist of gameplay spliced in with those cinematic set pieces where you do quick time events, because that's something that they love to show with the Spider-Man games, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to follow a similar formula to those particular titles, because Insomniac, they just love having those grandiose reveals where they give you a good idea of how the world works and they place you in the middle of this chaotic moment. And this time we're going to get Wolverine as opposed to Spider-Man. And I'm just going to call it now, the stuff that we see in this new upcoming trailer is not going to be the things that we saw in the leaked gameplay footage. Everything that we've seen leading up to this point have been nothing more than pre-alpha builds that don't necessarily reflect what the game is going to look like. I can definitely see Wolverine looking a lot different, since I'm pretty sure there was a lot of trial and error when it came to getting his design right, and it wouldn't shock me if his voice is entirely different from the one that we've heard in all the leaks, because those things are very much subject to change, and that's just how it is when it comes to developing a game. We aren't aware of how much has changed based on what they started with. If you guys will go back to look at the early builds of Spider-Man's web swinging, you will see how drastically different the final version of that web swinging is compared to the earlier versions of it. And another reason why I feel like these things are going to be vastly different is the fact that we have a different creative director on board to do Marvel's Wolverine, because if you guys aren't aware, they originally had the guy who worked on Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, being the creative director, but somewhere along the way that guy stepped down, and now we have a different guy entirely who's going to be steering the ship, which funny enough are the two creative directors largely responsible for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which, as I mentioned earlier, was a full-fledged game, and now they're returning to make this full-fledged game, which is Marvel's Wolverine. So yeah, I can't wait to see what this game is going to entail, and I also can't wait to see what gameplay elements Insomniac Games is going to lift from previous games into this one, because we know that they love doing that. Like Rift Apart with the whole dimension hopping element, they were able to utilize that in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if things like their classic weapons wheel makes a return for Marvel's Wolverine, just in case he has like other melee weapons outside of his claws. So yeah. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Once again, I want to apologize for just the lack of any kind of Marvel video game related content. Like, I've just been holding off on doing this because the reception has just been lukewarm now. And I'm pretty sure this is due to the oversaturation of these types of videos, especially from YouTube creators who give these sensationalized titles like, oh, Insomniac finally did the thing, or Insomniac is now bringing you a new trailer to Marvel's Wolverine. I just like to give you guys my thoughts on these things, but I don't want to give you hope that these things will happen, because at the end of the day, it's all speculation and we don't really know when these things will come out. It's all about taking it with a small grain of salt and just giving you our thoughts on them. So yeah, but what do you guys think about this? Do you believe that this could potentially be happening, that we could be seeing a PlayStation showcase or state of play at the end of this month? Or do you feel like we could be seeing a trailer for this game a little bit later, possibly at this year's Game Awards? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you truly enjoyed this video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and followers on all the different social media outlets. Sharing really makes a difference. But once again, this is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.